What's up guys, welcome to my next YouTube video for the Making Beats for Fun series. This is another track I did. It's a little loop, a trap style beat called 82,808 grand. Just got the tempo being 82 BPM and I've been using a 808 instrument in there. So let's take a listen. Pretty much just the three instruments in there. It's the drum beat, an 808 that you can actually play as an instrument, and a little maelstrom sound in there as well. So let me show you quickly how I went about doing the drum pattern using the Redrum. So what I do is usually start with a new track in Reason, and you right click, you choose the Redrum, choose your tempo over here at the bottom. In this instance I did it at 82 beats per minute, and there's a few ways of approaching your drums with the Redrum. One way is to do it with the running your pattern in a sequence. So if you press run, obviously because there's no samples loaded up, nothing will play. So there's one way you can do it is by loading up the built-in samples from Reason. So if I load up a hip-hop kit and I just press play on them, each channel will play the sound. So for instance, if I have the kick drum and I press run, this is the channel selected. It'll play whatever drum beat I draw in with my mouse. So that's the one way of approaching it. The other way of approaching it is playing it on your keyboard. So if you have your window and you say show on-screen piano key, on your actual computer keyboard you can play the drums manually. So this is the green little section is where your octaves are. So with the X key you can go up an octave, with the Z key you can go down an octave, and the gray area, that's where all your samples are loaded. So for instance, if I press AW, it'll play these samples here, AWS. And the last way to do your drums is to actually draw it in manually with a pencil. So if you go into your sequencer, you go to edit mode. Again, if you click, you'll see that samples will play. So if you take your pencil, you can actually draw in different drums. Alright, so that's the three options of doing your drums, but I prefer the sequence running it in Redrum. So this was my pattern that I did for the track. So my kick, that's the channel for the kick, the snare channel, and then obviously hi-hats. So once you click to browse sample, this will be your sample that you have on your computer, not the ones from Reason. You can choose your own ones. So let's begin with, usually start with the hi-hats. So what I've done is I've chose the dynamic range as soft, and if I take it away and solo it, you'll see that nothing will play once I press run, but once I draw in, that is my hi-hats. Next sample on the channel of the Redrum, another hi-hat. Let's mute that one again. So just to give it a bit of a swing, what I've done is I've chosen the dynamic range as medium, and where you see the little red lights on, it means it's kind of does like a double hit, and the way to achieve that is to actually click on this button over here, the flam. So let me just show you quickly. If I take it away, it will be nothing, but if I choose it and it's active, it does like a double hit, so it gives it a bit of a swing. So this is the two hi-hats that are running. Then we move on to the snare. So the snares, I've chosen the dynamic range as hard, and make sure if it's not selected on flam, otherwise it will do like a double hit. So you can take that away. So if you run it, and then I choose my snare on the 5th and the 3rd hit, and lastly my drum kick. So let's break it down. The drum kick number 1, we did it as a dynamic range as hard. On number 4 as a medium. Number 10 is soft, but it's got a little red line on top, so it means that I've did a double hit with a flam. So if you press run, if I take it away, and then back again, so choose your dynamic range soft, choose your flam, so that's the drum pattern for sort of a trap style hip hop beat, 82 beats per minute. And the next instrument that I used was a 808. So you right click, choose the NN19 sampler. I've chosen a trap 808 sample from one of the kits that I've purchased. You load it up and you can actually, in the sequencer, you can play the 808 on the keyboard as a normal instrument. And the last instrument that I used was the Maelstrom. This was one of the built-in sounds called Talkbox. And again, once you select it on your sequencer, you can play it on your keyboard. So it's just the 8-bar loop, a drum beat, 808 sound, and a Maelstrom little synth sound in there as well. So pretty straightforward. This is the drum beat. Right click, open up your Redrum. I've selected